Today at PowerForward DuPage, we are joined by Tim Milburn. He's the managing partner of Green Ways to Go. And Tim, I know your company really works with customers and clients. And you really recommend to them, right? When they're looking for an alternative fuel vehicle and supporting infrastructure, you're sort of the consultant that helps package that up for them. Is that right?
That's right. We try to help people make informed decisions.
Well, this is perfect because we need some of that information. I've been wanting to tackle this topic of electric vehicles and EV charging infrastructure for some time. So thank you so much for coming in. Let's start at the top. Tell me, like, what when we're going to unwrap all this. Let's talk about electric vehicles to start with.
Yeah, starting with the vehicles, right now in the U.S. there's over 220 models with 36 different vendors. There's a lot of choices. They're not all available here, but there's information to help you figure that out. They come in plug-in hybrid, which means you can have a gasoline engine combined with an electric engine, or all electric.
Yeah, and so that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this piece, is because I think when people start to be interested or start to do the research, they get a little overwhelmed. And now that I know there's really over 200 choices, that's just a lot. How much do they cost? I guess that's the first thing I'm going to think of. Like, that's probably a wide swath of
So when you buy an EV or look at buying an EV, right now it's a little bit more than a gasoline engine vehicle counterpart for passenger vehicles. There's also some shuttle buses and trucks that are coming, and they're much more expensive. But basically, it's not a huge investment, and with incentives, you can actually have it for less with an EV. You also have to consider the infrastructure. You may want to put in a charger at home, for example.
Yeah, definitely. And actually, there's another question that pops up in my mind is really, what is the difference between refilling with electricity versus gasoline?
So I've got some demonstration tools to show you. There's different levels of chargers. One's a household current, level 1. Another is also household, but it's 240 volt. And then there's some bigger chargers out in public. And each of them has certain requirements and investments. The level 1 comes with the vehicle typically. The level 2 is maybe $1,000 to $3,000 to install it.
And that's because of the convenience of that fast charging.
Right. This will charge like 10 times faster than the level 1. But in either case, I want to make the point that you want to have a qualified, certified installer. Make sure it's done safely.
I like that you made that point. Thank you so much. But going back to that charging piece and the public charging or having it in your home, that really kind of brings up for me one of the reasons why I'm a little hesitant is, where are the public charging stations? How easy it is to find them? And gosh, if you run out of battery, is it the same as running out of gas?
I'll say yes if you have a battery only. If you have a plug-in hybrid, you still got gasoline.
Right.
But to find any smart device, you can find chargers in the area, and in urban areas like where we are in Naperville, that's a non-issue. There's like 40 chargers around this area. So it's easy to find public charging. Most people charge at home. And it's the same thing. You go up, you plug in just like a gasoline tank. It's easy.
And I know, there's so much, again, with this topic. We can talk about the maintenance and the cost and the savings and all that's wrapped into these decisions. But I remember somebody at some point was telling me about seasonality and how that can affect your vehicle. Is that right?
Cold takes some of the oomph out of the battery, so you can lose. For the older EVs, is like 20 or 30% in a cold day. So you wouldn't get as many miles because of the battery chemistry, because you're using the heat.
Oh boy.
But now
so you really want to have to plan for that.
Exactly. So the EV drivers learn. They quickly learn, and they adapt to it.
I imagine so.
But now they have systems to preheat the battery and reduce that risk. So you can get almost full miles that you get in the summer.
I love that, and I love that you're sharing this kind of information. Tell me this as we start to wrap up. What about incentives? I also kind of hear people throwing these words around. All sorts of tax credits and this and that. Tell me about that.
So in where we are, Naperville has rebates for the chargers. There's also rebates for the vehicles in Illinois. There's federal rebates, or tax credits rather, for buying the vehicle. And there may be more coming in Illinois.
Excellent. Well, I think all this information put together will at least give folks a starting point, a charge point, if you will, right? Tim, thank you so much for stopping by today. I just knew you were the perfect person to have in for this discussion. Your level of expertise and the knowledge that you bring, it was just wonderful. Thanks again for stopping by.
Thank you, it was my pleasure.
If you'd like more information about the purchase of an electric vehicle and the supporting infrastructure you may need, please visit our website. We have so many resources available to you. Also, for more information about the City of Naperville's rebate program, you can visit the city website.